When I think about this three strikes that the United Bermuda Party are talking about right now, I immediately equate it to my time that I was in the position. I was a female, I was black, and I came with an independent spirit. And that's three strikes for them. It became increasingly difficult because it was tiring. I worked hard, and perhaps too hard, at trying to convince them that I was good in my own right, that I had something to bring to the table, that I had joined the party as a volunteer, risen through the ranks to become the party secretary for 2.5 years, and then the party chairman for four years, ran in the 2003 election for the first time and came away with having garnered 236 votes. Then went back to continuing, to work with the party. Yeah, it became difficult because I began to feel very undervalued. And even when I allowed my aspirations to be known, that I was bringing something to the table, I'm good at what I do, I believe I have something to offer, again, and this is probably something that's a pet peeve, but I made it known that I would like to work in the Senate with a degree of moving into MP status. All that, I believe, was frowned upon simply because I would not allow them to manipulate me. I was not the typical UBP black person. And in my estimation, the typical UBP black person is someone who they can control. They found out in really short order they could not control me, they could not manipulate me, and they definitely were not going to use me. Whilst the United Bermuda Party are saying that they have changed and that they are new and that they are different, I don't believe they are. Evidenced by my experience in the United Bermuda Party, I do not think they are any different from the way they were back in the 60s. The United Bermuda Party is steeped in white support. And my experience let me know that the whites in that party want to maintain the control that they were used to enjoying. And whilst they were saying they were new and different and bringing in blacks, I am totally convinced that the blacks were brought in to color the external landscape. But the internal landscape remained the same. And the internal landscape are those whites who, in my opinion, wanted to maintain the control. The blacks were there to allow the electorate and the voting public to feel that they were there to embrace blacks in its truest form. Its truest form to me is to help blacks to get their fair share of the pie, to be allowed to play on a level playing field. If that was so, I would have been given more respect than I got. I would have been embraced as the first female chairperson of the United Bermuda Party who happens to be black. We have a very unique leader in Dr. Brown who is strong, who is not afraid to speak his mind, who's not afraid to tell it like it is. But I also see in Dr. Brown a compassion and an urgency about equality in this country, and blacks and whites, reds and yellows, pinks and greens being treated the same and being allowed to have access to the same opportunities. I personally like Dr. Brown. I don't see an arrogance about him. What I do see is a determination, and I see a confidence that Bermuda will finally be put on the right track, and that everybody from the oldest to the youngest will be treated with a measure of respect.